Welcome to She Said
Let's, where we usually chat the highs and lows of the business of film and TV,
Shine a Light on Women Who Empower Us,
and dish on plot twists in our lives. We just had to say let's too.
However, in today's episode, if you cannot tell, we got a lot of stuff going on. We're in these beautiful sweaters in front of a bunch of ring lights, which are making us sweat our asses off.
We are sweating our asses off.
Yeah,
we are.
So we also have heard a rumor that you guys love a video episode because you love to see our ridiculous faces. So here we are.
You're welcome. You are so welcome. Also, before you dive in, if you've yet to listen or watch last year's Chrismukkah episode, you need to get on that right now.
You must.
It's very important.
Yeah, you can't.
It is.
This is the second one.
No, you can't miss it.
Yeah.
This is season 2, baby.
V2.
V2.
A nice abbrev there.
Let's go.
Yeah, so let's Chrismukkah.
Let's Chrismukkah.
So all...
Our favorite time of year.
I know. All segments today will be holiday themed. So cheers to second Chrismukkahs. Oh, great.
Oh, nice.
Great.
We're really off to a really good start today.
I haven't done this in a minute.
We're just still hopping back on the horse.
Yeah. She's not ready to ride.
Gotta get back in the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think it would be foolish not to mention before we jaunt off into these wonderful segments on the horse. That we've been on a teensy bit of a break, hence our rustiness for approximately 2 months.
We have been on a break.
Yeah.
We've been on a break. We've gone through a lot over the course of the past.
There's a lot been going on.
2 months that we've been on a break.
So wow, that was weird. So we hit our year mark. Woo! And we had our Best of Let's episode, which also, if you haven't watched that or listened, sorry, you can only listen. Podcast is not a visual medium. It would be a great time to catch up on all that shit. We thought the 2 months off, you could catch up and then you'll be ready for us to be back.
So if you're not ready, start preparing. Also, we must mention that Kay got into, drumroll please, a writing fellowship during this time. So everybody applaud for Kay. It is the NHMC Series Screenwriters Fellowship. So I'm here forcing her to celebrate this win, even though she is very bad at doing that herself because she can never celebrate a fucking win for herself. So
no, all other people, yes.
Everyone say congrats, Kay. Cheers your drinks, hit your pens, hit your bong, whatever you do.
Do it all. If you don't do anything, if you just drink water, you can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
we welcome
yes.
all.
That is the curse of being a workaholic perfectionist, as I'm sure most of you know. I will go into more deets on that in the next episode. And we'll also be telling you what we have coming up for the year 2024 in that next episode. But now it's time to be fucking merry, bitch.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Yes, we must. So we're back with my favorite segment. I'm a
blank.
Where we choose a movie or TV show and decide what character we are and the backstory of why.
This week we will be doing the holiday classic, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I must mention that there are little Jack skeletons on here. I have little skeletons on my thing because I had a black tree at one time, but now it still fits with the red one. So because both Hannah and I are huge fans of both Halloween and Christmas, similar to the genius that is Tim Burton. I went to the Tim Burton Museum in Paris this year and found out all about it. It was pretty cool. And we don't really need to explain what this film is about because if you haven't seen it, you must watch it immediately. But mostly it's about Jack and Sally's love affair. You know, Blink 182.
So good. I know.
Can
we live like Jack and Sally if we want.
He made Christmas a bit different that year, and that's fine.
They had Halloween on Christmas.
They did.
And in the night, they wished it never end. So, okay, I know who I think you are, but why don't you tell the holiday listeners?
Holiday listeners, I like that. Okay, let me say...
Oh, we should have called them the Holly Jolly listeners.
We can still do that. We're still here. We've just begun. Holly Jollies. The Holly Jollies.
You guys are the Holly Jollies today.
Also, I have to say this. If you can think of a name for yourselves.
Yeah, for you guys. we want to think of something to call you guys because
Yeah, but you're not like the Letzers. Like,
yeah, we need something a little bit more creative, and I think we're both kind of in a place right now where that's really hard for the both of us.
My creative juices are going elsewhere right now.
Yeah, my creative juices have kind of briefly been put on pause, but that's okay. That's okay. We're working through it.
So yeah, let us know about that. But back to the segment. So let me first say that when I picked this film, it's because we love it so much, as I mentioned. But I also didn't realize that there were not a ton of characters to really choose from, because a lot of them have like one or two lines, and we barely see them. And there's like a million different people in this fucking town that they're in. So my boring answer for who I am, I guess, is that I am Jack Skeleton, who is on the tree, his head. But I will try to spice shit up in here as much as I can. So just like me, Jack seems to get bored easily and tires of doing the same old thing. He's over it. You know what I mean? Over and over again. And one of the things that me and Han different in is she actually likes a little bit of routine as far as she gets like really obsessed with something and then she does it all the time. And I'm like, that would honestly kill me. I need to do different shit constantly. I can't
love a routine. It's just nice to have that, like, you wake up in the morning, you know you have to do this one thing. Like, I walk the dogs, I go do a workout, and then I start my day.
I'm saying like with other kinds of stuff. Like I could never listen to the same music at the same. I can never watch the same movie more than once. I don't want to go to the same places ever more than one time. Like I don't. That's not. I gotta spice it up. So yeah, the variety is it for me. But also Jack has this like nighttime mental breakdown kind of where he like goes manic in the movie, and he's like dancing around and singing. Like he decides to do the Christmas thing, but then he does all this research into it and he finds out all this stuff, and then he starts doubting that he can do this fucking thing, which is very relatable. And then he gets like really overconfident about it. I don't know if he like had some shots and we just didn't see it on the Disney movie, but he, you know, he starts to decide that he's the best person ever to do this all of a sudden. So it's like a roller coaster on this manic episode. So that is me when working on a creative project, for sure.
That's accurate as fuck.
Yo. I'm like, okay, I know everything about it, but I still don't think I can do it. And then all of a sudden I think, oh, I'm the best. Obviously, I can do this.
She goes through these waves of, what is the word that I'm looking for?
Self-doubt?
Not self-doubt, like imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
You go through these like waves of imposter syndrome, and I guess that is a form of self-doubt, but and then all of a sudden you're like, I am a fucking god, and then 5 minutes later you're like, I can't do anything. I'm like, girl,
I know.
Let's just take a breather.
Who knows? Who knows if I can do it or not? We'll never know. Maybe we will.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
Sure. But anyways, in my version of the nighttime before Christmas, though, I think I want to pick like a different holiday to like redo or like crash. And this will kind of go with our Galentine's Day episode because I am going to pick Valentine's Day. So you should go back and watch the Galentine's Day episode if you have yet to. We will be doing a very different variation of it this year. And I want to make people realize that Valentine's Day is not just about romantic relationships. You can celebrate Galentine's Day. You can celebrate your platonic relationships.
You can celebrate Boyentine's Day.
You can, yeah, whatever you want. If the holiday is about love, you often love those people more than you would love somebody in a romantic relationship, because often you have relationships with those people longer than you do with these people who come in and out of your life. So, I don't know. These entanglements, as I like to call them, but it may just because I am also eternally single all the time, but I am huge on chosen family, and I would spread that all over the land, far and wide. Far and wide. I just need a little air in my sweater to be completely transparent.
Far and wide. I think you're trying to like fan yourself.
I know. I'm hot.
As you're doing that.
But anyways, enough about that. Who are you?
We really can live like Jack and Sally if we want to.
I knew you were going to say that as soon as I was waiting.
I have to reference Tom DeLonge any chance I get.
Waiting for that. Okay, go on.
Okay, so this may come as a little shock to everyone listening right now. Hannah only chose one character this time.
And if you don't get that reference, then you need to be watching more episodes.
Correct. So, moving into this, I want to start off by, I chose Sally. I am Sally. Sally is an empath. And if you know me, you know that I am a huge empath. I'm a big crier. A lot over the course of this recently. But I also tend to feed off of other people's emotions that I'm around. So if somebody is anxious, I can feel that. If somebody is afraid, I can feel that. If somebody's happy, I get that happiness as well. So I feel like because Sally is an empath, she also, like, you can see her feeling Jack's loneliness throughout the film and see her start to develop this crush on him. Oftentimes, I also feel kind of like a rag doll, just like whipping myself around, doing a million things at once, like wishing I could rip off different limbs so that I could get more things done.
Yeah, that'd be actually kind of cool.
Right?
I'm like into that.
I was actually having this conversation with Elena yesterday, who's like another one of my best friends, gonna be the maid of honor in her wedding next year, so that'll be fun. But I was talking to her about how I'm all over the place at all points in time and was just kind of venting to her about different things going on in my life. And she looked at me on FaceTime and she was like, well, yeah, that your mom. That's why you have always been mom of the friend group. Like it sucks for you because you never give yourself enough credit or enough like attention, but
that's so interesting to me.
Care.
I don't see you as a mother at all, but maybe
I know
that's
you
because
don't.
I'm more like the mom with us.
You are more like the mom with us too, but I think with myself and
your
a lot of other like friendships I have developed this like mom entity, I guess.
Maybe that's why it feels so good. You get to relax a little bit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that she was like, you make sure everyone else is okay, you do a million things at once. And it really hit me again as I was rewatching this for research, because I feel like Sally feels like she has this responsibility to help and ensure everyone within this town is taken care of and happy and whatnot. And like she feels like she has this responsibility under Jack almost, and also a responsibility to Jack to make sure he's okay. I also understand Sally's feeling of like stuck whenever she's talking to her creator. I'm blanking on his name.
Who fucking cares? He's so creepy. He's just a creepy weirdo.
Weird.
With a big ass head.
Weird man. An alarming guy.
To say the least. Okay.
So
problematic, man.
Whenever she's talking about feeling stuck, and like I've mentioned this before on the pod, but I've been in places in my life where I've felt very stuck, whether that be in relationships or careers or like trapped, I guess is more so a better word to use. But I think she uses that in the film itself because she was like, I can't even get out of here. You're not letting me leave. I feel stuck. Mm-hmm. She also has this shyness about her with Jack in the beginning of the relationship, or like this, like the crush. Which is hilarious because apparently I've realized, because another friend of mine, my friend Maddie, pointed out to me, she was like, you get really shy around like the person that I was
it's
previously.
So funny because I actually just turned into an asshole.
I know you do.
So you are like
get
the
shy.
opposite.
You become an asshole. And like I was dating this guy and Maddie looked at me and she was like, why do you get so shy around him? I was like, I don't know. Like you guys are in a conversation. I don't feel like I get shy.
Everybody gets a little bit
But she was
different.
like, you get kind of shy. And I was like, I don't know. Like that's not how I am whenever it's just him and I, but maybe it's because other people are, I don't know.
I think that just happens with anybody that you have those type of feelings for. Like you turn into kind of a different version of yourself until you feel really comfortable.
In
the beginning.
In the beginning, yeah. But I was like, interesting to see that.
Yeah.
But so I also feel like she is very guarded and shy, but you get to see her let her guard down with him. So there's a lot of different things that I relate to within Sally's character that I was like, oh, wow, we are kind of the same.
Jack and Sally. Yeah, well, we also can't forget the song, which is going to be stuck in our heads forever.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. This is
Halloween. Halloween. I'm going to be doing this all throughout. You can see that we write our scripts. Inside info, BTS.
They've known this for so long.
We like to be prepared.
We like to write talking points, guys.
This shows that we're very prepared.
We do research. We write talking points. We are professionals.
We care about you, and we care about this. You know. Also, I wish that it was Halloween a lot sooner, but now it's like 11 months away.
I know, but we gotta stay in the Chrismukkah spirit. So, next is how did we get here?
We're going to take a scenario, occupation, inciting incident, etc. from a TV or film. Wow, forgot the two things that we do. And imagine what it would be like if we were the characters. So Home Alone is a holiday classic with Macaulay Culkin, where the McAllisters go off to Paris for the holidays, which is a weird choice in my opinion.
To agree with that many fucking kids.
Fuck, it's just crazy.
That's hectic.
I know, and accidentally, or so they say.
I think it was on purpose. It's Macaulay
leave their bratty 8-year-old, played by Macaulay Culkin, at home. Although, okay, all over the internet, it was described in the log line that he was a bratty 8-year-old, and honestly, I don't know.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Listen, I have thoughts on this.
Okay, go on.
As I'm sure many people do, especially because they made so many sequels, but I'm not going to bore you with my judgment and just get into that. Like, what the hell I would do in this scenario as an 8-year-old, and also how I would even be in this scenario in the first place. So in a way, I feel like this was almost every kid's dream at some point or another.
Yeah,
as a
did
child.
we talk about one time how we wanted to like hide at the mall?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to do that.
Want to do that?
Kind of like
still want to do it.
Low key.
Let's hide under.
Should we hide?
There's too
in a mall?
many
Ari
cameras
is
nowadays.
approaching.
Oh, my cat.
Ari is approaching.
He's gonna drink this water out of this cup, isn't he? No.
Turn that water into wine, baby.
Get out of here. Can you imagine? He just his tongue activates it, turns bright red.
Nice Cabernet.
Jesus. We call him Jesus from now on.
I feel like this would actually, though, me personally, kind of partially be my absolute nightmare depending on what the situation is. So in this case, it would be my nightmare. I am one of 3 children.
I always think it's so many more.
No. There's only 3 of us.
5.
No. My mom has 4 sisters, so there's 5 of them.
Okay.
But I grew up with a lot of cousins, and I have a lot of chosen family as well because, like Kay said, chosen family is very important to me. But for myself as a human being, I could never imagine having that many fucking children. I'm capping it at 3 max.
Capping it at 1.
2 men, 3 max.
0
That's
men.
it. That's all I fucking
max.
want ever. Okay, so now, I also wanted to say for anybody who has kids and families of like 5+, I mean, honestly, if you have kids at all, I just salute you. Good. Proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, parents. Now, if I were to put myself in this situation, I would have played this as if I was on kind of like my own reality show, but also bring my cousins into it. In a way. So we're going to make this one big family vacation. Cousins, aunts, uncles, all, just so that it kind of fits the same criteria. But I'm not going to be the only one that's left home alone. It's going to be myself and my cousin Logan home alone.
Okay, so you technically wouldn't be alone.
I mean, both of us would because we would be too young to be there by ourselves.
Okay.
This is what we're going with. This is what we're going with. Okay, just let me. This is my story. My story. 2 children, home alone.
Sure.
We were obsessed. Let it just.
I said sure.
It makes sense in my head. So we were obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Barnum and Bailey Brothers Circus.
And you would know that if you heard one of the other episodes.
Last Chrismukkah. and probably many others. So we're going to kind of play around with that. I want to do a scenario where, because my older brother and older sister and Logan's older brother and a few of our other older cousins would always try to play these games with us where they would either send us on scavenger hunts or we would play hide and seek or just like random little bullshit. I'm going with a scavenger hunt. So my brother, my sister, our other cousin, or my cousin, send Logan and I on a scavenger hunt around the house where we end up actually getting left because there's too many fucking people to keep track of, supposedly. Or they were just trying to get rid of us, and like we'll just say that my sister said that we were already like in the car, whatever.
Yeah, like that one bitch does in Home Alone.
Exactly. So my cousin and I are left. We finish the scavenger hunt, realize we are there by ourselves, and we're like, where'd everybody go? So then we're like,
where are they going?
Where are they? Oh, I actually didn't think of that part. We'll say London.
Okay.
They're going to London. Well, actually, no. We'll say that they're going to Italy because that's literally where my family is from.
Literally makes more sense. Yeah,
they're going to see more family. Yeah. So they're going on a trip to Italy. Funzazo specifically, in case anybody was wondering.
They were. Don't you dare.
I wonder, did you guys just hear his meow?
My cat is trying to jump up here. Yeah, keep up. Go up there.
Yeah, Ari, you can't jump on the computer. He wants to work.
He's like a goat trying to go up on the mountaintops.
He wants to work. Okay, anyway, so they're going on a trip. Because we were so obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Barnum and Bailey Brothers Circus, we're turning the house into a circus using the dogs because my grandparents had German Shepherds at their house growing up.
Oh,
I'm just like mixing time periods at this point.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
This is
so
fake.
We're going to dress up the German Shepherds like lions, and they are going to be our lions, and like our elephants. The puppies can be little elephants. And then our neighbor is going to be the villain in this story because there actually is a neighbor that we had that did poison one of our cats. It was probably by accident, but like, who knows? That cat died. So
Ari perked up. He said, "What?
Would you like some poison?
A feline poisoning?
A feline poisoning? Are you the FBI?"
Yeah, he's on the hunt.
Oh,
he's on a case.
Mission.
He's on a case right now.
Nick Cage stealing the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so as we're also acting like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles within this scenario. So we're dressed up as these turtles. I'm Donatello.
Okay.
He's one of the other ones because I am blanking on all of them.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo's good. That works.
Jesus. Loves them. Loves the teenage.
I said I used to.
Doesn't know.
I haven't even seen the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with Seth Rogen.
Neither have I.
Oh, we should watch that soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this woman, the neighbor, is the villain in the story, and she is like scoping out the house, sees that no one is home, even though clearly there are 2 children in there with all these fucking lights, making it a circus.
Yeah,
anyway.
Also, they were just going to leave their dogs like this?
Bro, probably like my
I
old
guess
aunt next door would take care of them.
Yeah,
that's
you could put them. You could put them in like a cage in the back or something. Yeah,
they were good. They were like outdoor. They had their own little like outdoor encampment. Thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's gonna be the villain in this story. She comes tries to break into the house, similar to kind of how the other burglars do.
Yeah, I don't
the
remember
original
their names.
one. I don't either. It's not even important. But I kept seeing a
literally
meme
just
about
watched it.
Jack Harlow looking like the one character. Did you see that meme?
No, but now
I'll
I'm
send
realizing,
it to you, and then we can insert it as like a thing in here so you all can see it.
I am realizing that it is true.
So because of this like debacle that goes on, like she comes over, tries to break in, whatever, all this shit happens. In the end, Logan and I end up getting grounded for literally no reason. But well, not literally no reason. It's because we turned the house into a shithole, into a circus, but really it was their fault. So like they felt bad, but we still got grounded for like 3 days.
Well, 3 days isn't
3 days isn't bad.
3 days
But as a
isn't
kid, you're like,
nothing.
fuck, I can't do anything.
I was always grounded.
I know. I feel like I was grounded too.
So it was kind of like, yeah, whatever.
My
Bluffing.
story was all over the place. So I hope yours is a little less messy.
I mean, it's a Home Alone. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be messy.
It's supposed to be wild.
And
you
crazy.
know? So, first of all, we kind of already talked about it, but the amount of siblings that were there were stressing me out. I am notoriously an only child, so this seems like it would be my own personal hell. And I really, as I also mentioned, don't think that Kevin was being that naughty in the first place until he gets in trouble, and then he really talks back to Catherine O'Hara, who is an actual saint.
I'm shocked that I didn't talk about Catherine O'Hara in mine.
Well, we could feel it.
As you
We just
should.
knew. You know why? Because you picked Sally. Did you know that Sally's voice is
it Catherine O'Hara?
O'Hara?
Shut the fuck up.
I looked it
This
up on
woman-
IMDb. She
This
was everywhere.
woman,
She was everywhere.
She was everyone.
We never
she was in
gave her
Beetlejuice.
flowers. We never did until recently. Until she was old.
Until
as
she was
fuck.
in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
She never got the street cred she deserved.
I know, and that's what happens to women, and that's why we're making this right now, so you know
Yo,
about these people.
Catherine O'Hara, if you somehow hear this and you ever
We're sorry.
want to come on to the pod, please.
But also, we're sorry for our generation.
We're
you know?
sorry for multiple generations not giving you the credit that you deserve because damn.
Yeah, you were everywhere. You were a bunch of iconic people that I didn't even know you were.
Oh
Didn't
my.
even know.
This beat, one, stunning, two, hilarious.
She was singing. She was singing as Sally. She was belting a tune. She also sang in Beetlejuice.
Oh my God, she
You
did.
know, around the table when they did that weird, like they were all being like their bodies were taken over.
Work,
Yeah.
work,
Yeah, yeah.
work it all the time.
Anyways,
Sorry.
so what I was trying to say is that my mom would have done a lot worse if I was like, I wish you guys never existed. I don't even want a family. She would have grabbed a belt and I would have been whooped to death.
Actually,
Almost.
my dad would have whooped my ass.
Yeah, if I said, I wish you guys all disappeared. I hate all of you.
My mom would have cried. My dad would have whooped my ass and been like, never speak to your mother that way ever fucking again.
Yeah, and then they put him in this attic, which looks like the coolest place I've ever seen in my fucking life, okay? It's a huge playroom paradise that he gets to stay in when he's, like, in trouble. It's like, ooh, sorry. There's, like, a king-size bed in it. Like, and, like,
Oh, sorry.
like, it looks amazing. I would love to live up there. So, yeah, I also want to mention how rich these people must have been to have this many kids and still be able to fly around and bribe people in the airport so that they can get home.
You also have to think about the time that it was.
Yeah,
Because
but this bitch was like, I'm going to give you $500, 2 first-class tickets, a Rolex, my wedding ring.
Oh, yeah, they were rich.
Yeah.
Good for
That's
them.
what she was going to do just to get on this flight.
Yeah, good for them.
That's crazy. And that's only for one kid. Imagine how many things happen with all the other kids that they have to pay for. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, yeah, kids are fucking demons, dude.
yeah,
Like, they
so-
will fuck shit up and not care at all.
I mean, I just want to mention that most parents would be absolutely screwed if this happened to them. Like there would be no way that they could have got home to this kid. But anyways, so in my own thing, it would be a game of hide and seek because that caused, well, a game of hide and seek would have caused my demise as far as being left home.
right.
And my mother was always getting mad at me because I was really, really good at hide and seek because I was impossible to find because I would find these insane areas. Like I would like climb things and like get into like little weird areas and I would stay there for hours, never speaking, just staying. And this is before phones or anything. So I was literally just staying quiet and cramped in a place for hours. I often like to go in like the what's it called, the washer and dryer or whatever.
Oh my
I
God.
would always be in there like wrapped around the middle part and shit.
What is
like,
wrong with you? Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I used to do it all the time at
Fucking
daycare.
contortionist over here. You used to do this all the time at daycare?
Yeah, at daycare. I would always because my mom would come pick me up and I didn't want to go home, so I would like hide in like a weird wooded cabinet in like a back room or something, and no one would ever find me.
Bro, that is mental illness.
Or I would like hide under a bunch of like storage things. Like I would like honestly move people's storage
Actually,
to like get into the stuff and then hide things over me, and then I would never move.
I take it back. That's kind of genius.
I mean, honestly, if I was in a scary movie,
I was just about to say, if you were in a horror film, if you were trying to hide from some like serial killer, you'd be fine.
I'd be totally fine. I wouldn't even breathe. You know how they're always breathing at the wrong
breathing
parts?
heavily. They're like,
yeah, and it's like,
Jesus,
bitch, shut up.
What are you doing? It's that, and whenever they go up the stairs rather than out the front door.
The creaking.
How about you just fucking unlock the door and run out?
Yeah, I honestly would just stay in the same place for the longest time. I would just stay.
Probably would too, honestly. You also have to make sure that your phone is on silent and do not disturb.
Well, back in these times, we're in the 90s right now. We have to stay in the 90s. Okay, so there were no phones. Okay, so in this case, my mother decides to teach me a lesson on one of these hiding times that I do. As was a fun pastime that 90s parents love to do, was teaching their kids lessons. I don't know about nowadays. I'm just saying. So she leaves me, but she tells one of my babysitters, okay, to come watch me instead. But she doesn't tell me. She pretends that she's going to leave me all by myself so that I'll be like scared. But really, I wasn't scared of that at all. But she tells the babysitter, but there's some sort of miscommunication with the babysitter where the babysitter thinks that she doesn't actually need her to come anymore. So she never comes. Okay, so then I am actually left alone. And I'm going to be left alone for a week. I like a week. I feel like it ups the stakes a little bit.
Oh, I didn't even say how long we were there for.
It was only
alone.
like 3 days for Kevin or something. So now it's going to be a week for me. Yeah.
It's a good amount of time.
There's someone in the neighborhood, we'll say that we live in a small home. Mm-hmm. We used to live in like a duplex or something. So I never like lived in one of those like neighborhoods that has all those cool houses that kind of all look the same in the Midwest, where they're all like carbon copies of each other.
I literally hate those.
And like, but that's where all the rich kids lived. You know what I mean?
They're so.
And then they were always like, "Oh, we're going to Creekside Manor today to drive around," and they'd be like, "Oh, do you know who I live in Creekside Manor? Do you know who else does?" And I'd always be like, "Fuck." We had one called Bluff Lakes. And all the like rich kids lived in Bluff Lakes. It was like so cool to be in Bluff Lakes.
Bluff Lakes.
Yeah, I didn't live in there. Anyways, so there is a neighbor that my mother has wronged, as she often did, where she wrote some bad checks to this person for some services. She didn't like mean to, but she also didn't like rectify it, like pay them back. So this person's like, this bitch owes me money. Okay. So him and his girlfriend decide that they are going to break in because they know that she's leaving. So they take matters into their own hands and they are going to get back what they deserve, but in our house, or at least just fuck with her in some way. So this guy and his girlfriend break in, and I wanted to add a female because I think that they're, you know, ultimately smarter than the male thieves, and it would add a little bit more drama and be harder for me to escape. Okay?
Accurate.
Yeah. So the antics that will take place are going to be witchy, like Harry Potter themed, because that was actually really big back in this day. You know, so it is kind of like a horror movie where I'm making them think that they're in a horror movie, and I don't actually let them know that I'm there. Like the whole time, I just act like there's like a spirit, like this fucking place is like haunted and stuff. And then I figure out that the guy is allergic to cats. Okay. And I had 2 cats when I was younger. So I will figure out a way to get the cats involved so that they attack him and that he has an allergic reaction. And his eyes are going to swell shut because that's very cinematic. And they'd have to leave because they have to get an EpiPen. Obviously, this guy's going to fucking croak.
Why wasn't he carrying one with him?
He's reckless. He's a reckless guy, you know?
On and on,
Yeah.
reckless
So
abandon.
also, before they get out of there, I'm going to force them actually to give me money for Christmas presents, okay? Because
Give me your money.
Because I'm going to say, if you don't, I'm going to tell my mom what you did. And then she's going to burn your fucking house down. And they know my mom, so they'll know that she's a crazy bitch. She will do that. So in exchange for my silence, they gave me cashola. So I actually win in this whole scenario.
I like this. I'd like to see this put
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, perhaps I write it.
T.
A poor version of Home Alone.
A poor version.
A poor
of
version
Home
with
Alone.
the girl. That's a horror film. Isn't every horror film just about being home alone?
Pretty much. The
Right.
Last House on the Left. Well, they weren't home alone. They were on a trip. No, it's usually group trips.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. So, well, now that we've been victims of child neglect, it is time to torture Hannah with playing a little game that we like to call
Let's Plot It Out.
She's so excited.
I hate this game. We have not done this in a while, so I'm nervous. But at least all the films this time will be holiday classics.
Yes, which basically means that you can guess what they're about from just hearing the names. So today, we are going to be pulling random holiday movies out of, we know you missed it, this here mailbox. You take it, you shake it a bit. You shake it a bit around. And we're, oh my garden. And we're going to try to tell you about it or describe it as fast as we can. Do we want to do, I think it might make it, do we want to do a minute or do we want to do 30
I like 30 seconds.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking a minute just because then we can really play around, but we can do 30 seconds.
I kind of like the panic that 30 seconds gives me. I need to
you're
feel
gonna be
something.
panicked either way. If we all know that, let's not. I don't
help
think that's.
take that.
I don't think. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Also, I do want to mention that they took these holiday movies from the internet, the interweb. They told me about them. I didn't pick these.
She did not. She never picks them.
This
It's just
weren't
the
from my brain.
internet.
These weren't from my brain.
There's about 50 of them in here. So.
Are you ready?
No. Oh, fuck. I know this one.
I'm
It's Love
starting it.
Actually.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my God. Who the fuck is in this? Is it no, I'm thinking of Definitely Maybe with Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God. Who's in this? Love Actually. Is it Robert Downey Jr.? I'm going to say Robert Downey. It's not. It's not. Who is in this? Oh no. This is so hard. What is Love
Just
Actually?
make something
I don't
up.
fucking know,
Just
dude.
Make something.
They go.
Oh, you've already been done. See, 30 seconds is fast.
Oh my God, who the fuck is in Love Actually?
Dude, it's like, isn't it? It's a British movie. Everybody loves it. I hate
know, but
it.
I can't remember who the fuck is in that.
Some British.
Is it
people.
Steve
Is
Carell?
No.
Are you
It's
sure?
Old. It's old. It's old. It's like British people. Is it Jude Law?
Is it? Oh, maybe.
It's like people I don't really know. I don't really like that movie. I think it's very depressing.
That just
It's too fast to tell a plot. I'm telling you.
It's hard. That was hard.
It's too
Okay.
fast. I got A Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Okay. This is the original, I would assume. I believe Tiny Tim is involved in this situation, and who knows what the fuck is wrong with him, but he's about to perish. Okay, he is literally like sick in that one. Is it the Scrooge dude who's like, no, you don't get any food, and his dad works for him or whatever, and he's like, fuck you and your family, you don't get to eat, and. And then he has a bunch of ghosts that come and are like, you
Stop.
need to know. See, it'd be so much better.
How about we do 45?
Okay.
45, go.
Yeah. Okay, so the ghosts come and then the past and the present and the future, and then he learns all this stuff, and he's like, I'm going to be a good man, and I'm going to give these people money, and also money for bread, because it's like really olden in the times then. And then he goes over and he eats with Tiny Tim, and then Tiny Tim magically comes back to life. Is that right?
I don't know.
Oh,
I honestly
God.
couldn't tell you.
I
could not
think-
tell ya.
I think that's
I'm pretty sure it's correct because it is the Scrooge. It's Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer. Ebenezer Scrooge.
His parents hated him. Why would they?
Ebenezer. What the fuck did I say before? Ebenezer?
Yeah, Ebenezer.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Okay.
The little drummer boy. Okay, well,
You can guess.
not to shock you guys, but this is about a little drummer boy. A little boy who loves to play the drums. Doesn't this have to do with like the story of Jesus, or am I making that up? Is this just no?
I don't know.
Fuck. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna say The Little Drummer Boy is based about a boy who grew up in Boston. And I don't know. Just don't look at me like that. It makes sense. I don't know. He really loves to play the drums. So on Christmas, he goes around and he plays the drums as the Christmas carolers sing. Stop. Christmas carolers sing. The Christmas carolers.
Yeah. All I know is that Justin Bieber had that song that was like rumpa-bum-bum, rumpa-bum-bum-bum. You know what I'm talking about? He had like a little drummer boy rap, dude. It was so good. Play it. It's a bop. If you don't have this on your Christmas playlist, you must. This is Justin Bieber's Christmas album.
It's with Busta Rhymes.
No. Oh, yes, it is. He does the rapping part. Don't take us off YouTube for this, okay? But the best part is when he starts rapping. He gets into it. The speed of... Playing for the sun.
Yo! You didn't hear this in the Bible.
I'm surprised you didn't hear this in the Bible. What is happening?
I kicked my water bottle by accident.
I'm surprised you didn't hear this in the Bible. It's an iconic line, and he stands by that. And
wow.
He loves Jesus, and he loves the church. Although he was part of that weird church that big documentary on it, because that guy was like stealing all the money to wear like designer shoes and Supreme and stuff.
Wait, which one was this?
That one in L.A., the one with like the hot priest,
Was it like Mosaic or something?
No, it's called like, I don't know, but they would do like, they would have fun singers they would have fun singers come in and like do like, and people got drawn in by the music, you know? They trick them with music. Which is really all religion is, you know?
Damn.
All right. Oh, Jesus. I have no idea what this is.
Start it.
Okay, it's called
Run it back.
It's called The Christmas Prince. And I have a feeling it's one of these like weird, like Hallmarky type situations where they get like a mildly, like almost like Ashley Tisdale, like 10 years after she did High School Musical or something. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're going to revive her career by being in this. But really, nobody's going to watch this fucking thing. And they got some boring ass like white guy who looks like a thumb who always plays the prince. Okay.
Yes!
He literally looks like a thumb.
So fucking accurate.
Yes, dude. He's some white guy, and I'm sure he's going to treat her like shit, and she's going to be obsessed with this prince. Or maybe she didn't know he was a prince. He pretends to be a pauper. Perhaps he's a pauper. To go with an old term.
Okay, stop. Perhaps he's a pauper.
It feels good to say, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good to say?
Perhaps he's a pauper.
Yeah. This Christmas sweater really cuts off my neck. I've been noticing.
Yo, what?
I swear I have a neck.
Oh no. Okay, this one's called Xmas.
Oh, I just watched this.
What is it? A Hallmark? I feel like it's a Hallmark. Maybe like an Amazon Prime moment. We're gonna say, is it like an Emma Roberts?
Somebody had already watched it on your account. I watched it on your account.
Was it on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
It wasn't me. I wonder who. There were a few people who it could have been. But okay, Xmas. We're gonna say it's like an Emma Roberts sort of deal where she breaks up with her boyfriend like around the holidays, but they don't want to tell their families yet because it's right around Christmas, and then they go home for the holidays together, and then all of a sudden they end up getting back together in the end, and that's the movie basically.
No
at all.
It was Leighton Meester. and the dude from Upload. It was an interesting. I do enjoy looking at him sometimes. I will say, the dude from Upload. He's got quite a nice body. But what happens in it is basically they break up and they were engaged, and then he says he's not coming home because he's too cool to come from home for the holidays. He's like, I have work. I'm a workaholic. Like all men are. Wow, shocking storyline.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then so they find out.
Aren't we all fucking workaholics?
Yeah, well, they don't portray that in the movies, okay? So, except for spinsters with cats. So anyway, so he's not coming home, and so they invite Leighton Meester's character to come home anyways, but then he surprised them and he comes home, but then they see that they've been talking to his ex this whole time, and then they have a very strange battle over his family, which I'm like, girl, why are you battling for his family? And then this crazy part happens, like partially through the movie, and you wonder to yourself, is this the same movie? I don't know. And
now
then
I'm gonna have to watch this.
I mean, we could watch it after this if we want to.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's
we
pretty.
could while we eat tacos.
Yeah. Okay, so it's something from Tiffany's. I know. Okay, I never watched it, but I do know that it was on Amazon, and I do know that that hot guy who has bipolar on Insecure, who has the light eyes. I think he is a mixed man. He is the main guy, and the girl
Zoe Deutsch.
Well,
sorry.
you're giving it to me. Is that bitch? And so. I don't know what happens, but I assume they want like a ring, like some sort of engagement ring from Tiffany's, or they want something from Tiffany's, which I don't really get because Tiffany's feels overrated to me. Who gives a fuck about those little tennis bracelets? Who plays tennis? Do we play tennis? No. Why would I want this bracelet? You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother thing about capitalism that we need to talk about.
That was a beautiful ending. And that's a whole other thing about capitalism that we need to talk about.
It is.
As a society.
I'm bringing up some issues here.
This is Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yes. Classic.
Is this on HBO?
I mean, I watched it as a child, so I don't know
I have.
where
Is
it
it Tim Allen? Tim. What is his? Tim Allen? Is that his name? Tim. No. Is it Michael Keaton? Nope. Okay. Well, we're just going to say that this is about, it's a Santa movie, obviously. It's about Santa. No. All right. This is about the Scrooge. Scrooge. This is about elves. We're going to say that this is about Santa going around, jingling around to different houses. Okay.
You're done, you idiot. Jingling around.
I have not watched this since I was a child.
Jingle All the Way. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his son wants that goddamn toy, that fucking like action figure thing, and then he like beats all these people's asses while he's trying to like get it from all this department stores or whatever.
Yeah,
the hell.
now I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See it. Oh well.
You know, you win.
To me, it's about Santa jingling all around.
The way. Jingling all around. Okay, here we go. All right, I got the Polar Express, which was a book, and it's got like polar bears, and there's like a train, and also the movie was very anticlimactic. I felt like because it wasn't real people; it was like a mixture of like animation and whatever. I mean, I saw it, but you know, it's very long. I wanted more bears. I'd like more bears in it than the Express. You know, we've all been on a train, but I haven't spent a lot of time with polar bears. So I'm not sure what the fuck happens with the bears, but I know there's a little girl and she's very cute on it. But I don't know what's her deal. I don't know what's her deal. I don't know what she wants. If she wants a polar bear for Christmas, I couldn't tell you.
Is that it?
Yeah,
is that all you got?
That's it.
All right. Okay. Well, I don't know this one. Falling for Christmas.
Ooh, just have fun. Just have fun.
We're going to say that it's a Hallmark movie.
Because I feel like this is a very Hallmark movie. Have you seen this? For real?
Oh, yeah, I have. It's on Netflix. I'll let you know that.
Oh, okay. It's okay. If it's a Netflix movie, that changes things. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to say.
Has to deal with a fall.
A fall or the fall?
No, a fall.
A fall. Okay, so we're going to say that someone was hanging Christmas lights. Someone was hanging Christmas lights on top of a roof, and then they fell off. And then at like the person who comes to their rescue, they fall in love with. And then they end up like spending the holidays together. They bond over the fact that it was like Christmas lights and it's Christmas around the Christmas holiday. And there's so much Christmas cheer and joy.
Okay.
Was I on par?
No.
Oh.
But it's Lindsay Lohan in Cord Overstreet, and she falls. She's like an influencer, and she has like a best gay that follows her around and like takes all her video content, and she falls down like a ski slope or some shit, like off of a fucking mountain, and somehow lives. But then she doesn't know who the hell she is. Okay, so then Cord Overstreet like
that.
takes her and like puts her in this place, and then they had to get an abuela involved because they said that the little girl's mom, who's dead, was a Latina girl, and but they couldn't show her, but they showed the half mixed girl who then becomes good friends with Lindsay, and then she falls in love with Cord Overstreet, even though he's very basic and normal, and there's nothing to fall in love with him for in the movie, but she does anyway. And then her rich ass boyfriend comes back and reminds her of who she is, and then she leaves him. But then I think they end up together in the end. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was not close at all.
Plotting it out in a minute. There we are. Elf. Okay, so this is Will Ferrell. And he is very large because he's a real human, not actually an elf, but he somehow, like, as a baby, gets, like, taken by Santa Claus or something. So he's, like, at the North Pole. And he likes a lot of maple syrup, so he puts it on everything. And his dad is the same dad in Step Brothers, I want to say, in this movie. But, okay, well, nope. But anyway, so his dad's kind of a dick. And he keeps, like, working and stuff. And he's like, no, we need to spread the Christmas cheer. And Zooey Deschanel has very bad blonde hair in this movie, but she has a gorgeous voice that she sings all the time. I was hoping I was done. And he goes and I don't know, he gets Santa, he fixes Santa's sleigh at the end. It's like,
okay, now stop.
Yeah.
No, it was not the same father as Step Brothers, but it was the same mom.
Oh, that's what it is. I
Yeah.
knew there was something amiss, because the holidays, when you're a kid, can be some of the most nostalgic in shaping of your entire life, really. We had to do. Let's go back. I find that a lot of my art and or creations come from a memory of the event from my past, which is where this segment comes from.
So, Let's Go Back is a segment where we tell the story of an event that shaped a project or a creation we've had within film and TV. In today's case, though, we'll be doing a holiday memory of child's past. So, okay, bring us back to the 90s.
We've been there, baby. We've been in the 90s. Okay,
Let's continue
so
on this journey in our time machine.
I would honestly go back there if I could.
The 90s,
I love it.
I mean, I don't...
I'd redo that.
I would as well, because then maybe I'd remember it a little bit better.
Yeah. So one of my most formative memories of my grandfather on my dad's side was him letting me sleep under the Christmas tree one year. And I can't remember if I actually mentioned this in our episode the last time, but to see if I could catch Santa. So I was always very mischievous. If you haven't picked up on, I still am. And I had a knack for figuring things out that I wasn't supposed to know. And I was obsessed with Harriet the Spy at the time. So I like very much wanted to be Michelle Trachtenberg, I think her fucking name was.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah, she was on Gossip Girl too. So my grandpa...
Wasn't she Regina?
Yeah. So my grandpa always supported my art ever since I could remember. He was a great storyteller, and he loved drawing cartoons and also writing poems. So every card that I ever got from him had a poem in it written about me, which was so cool, and then also some little drawings in it, which I wish that I knew where any of these motherfuckers were, because, you know, when you're young, you're like, I don't need this, and you like throw shit away, and you know. So
and then you get older and people die and you're like, damn, I wish I had some memory.
Yeah, I know. I really wish I knew what they say. I'm sure they talk about how amazing I am.
I mean, they're probably somewhere. Let's just manifest they're somewhere.
Sure. So when I was convinced I could catch that chubby bastard that is Santa, I asked my grandparents, but then my grandma was like, absolutely fucking not. So my grandpa gave me like a little wink, which was our signal that we were not going to be listening to her. And he like put me to bed and stuff because I had my own room at my grandparents' house because I was the favorite cousin. And if any of my cousins are listening, you know that was my room and you were just guests staying in it. Okay. So anyways, he put me to bed and we waited for my grandmother to go to bed. And then he moved all of these presents out of the way and let me climb under the tree. And then he put all the presents back. So I was like buried under there, like with a little pillow. And I like stayed under there to try and catch Santa. Then he went to bed. Okay. So then my grandma, of course, came out and I scared the shit out of her because I was like buried under the tree. But she was mad at my grandpa, which was always kind of like their dynamic anyways, like her being mad at him and him being like, I don't give a fuck, it's fine. And so this whole experience taught me to be curious about things that people tell me are true because I never believed in Santa, okay? Let's get that clear. I knew logically that he could not be, okay? In this case, obviously, Santa, and to investigate things that you are unsure about if you have like a gut feeling about something. Also, just to not be scared of doing things that I'm curious about and to research things, which is an integral part of my writing process. I think a lot of times I get like really scared to do anything that I don't know how to do because when it comes to writing, because I care so much about it and it's like what I want to do with my life. So if there's something that I don't know about, I don't want to admit that I don't know about it. And I also then feel like crippled in finding out about it. But not anymore. Just like with Santa, I will investigate. No.
No.
No. No.
No, no, no.
How about you, Hannah?
Okay, so
Finish us off.
let's finish it off.
I'm ready to orgasm.
Run it back. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to stuff my face. So every year on Christmas Eve, we would go from my dad's parents' house to my mom's parents' house to spend the holidays with everyone that we possibly could. And my mom's side of the family always had what felt like to me just like a lot more people over there celebrating. Like even my dad's parents would go over there sometimes for Christmas Eve. But unless my cousins were in town on that side, but like it would be like my grandparents' friends, all of my cousins would come into town, my mom's sisters, like their husbands. It would just be like this huge big party at my grandparents' house, almost like a little family reunion. So whenever everybody would get together, my grandma would cook, and music always played a huge role in my family, especially on my mom's side because my grandpa was a musician, like all my cousins are. That was a huge thing growing up. So my
drummer boy.
Exactly. My grandpa was a little drummer boy and played the accordion and sang. He's a very talented man. He's dead, but he was a talented man. Anyway,
Sure.
but because music played such a huge part of my life as a child, my grandma, whenever she was cooking, or my Omi, whenever she was cooking in the kitchen, she would always have a glass of wine in her hand. She would be preparing the food, singing, dancing, and then she would encourage all of us to like join in. Like it would be me or my cousin or my mom, my aunts, like mostly like myself, my sister, like mostly like the females would kind of join in on it. But anytime I would see her doing that, at first I would kind of look at her like, what is she doing? Like, she's kind of just being a little goofy right now. Like, I couldn't do this in public. Like, that's embarrassing. And she always would just be like, no, embrace your weirdness. Embrace the goofy side of you. Just like have fun and don't let anybody change that. So, anytime she would look at me and just like kind of tell me to dance and sing wherever I wanted to and just enjoy the moment, I guess that kind of taught me to allow myself to show that side of me more often within the world of film and TV, and like allow me to be a little bit more vulnerable, like not only with everybody else around me, but also with myself, just because I'm accepting my weirdness rather and the goofiness and silliness rather than pushing it down and making it something that it's not. So I feel like that was a lesson that kind of helped catapult me to do what I'm doing now.
She said, dance like no one's watching,
Exactly.
you know?
She said, let's.
She said, let's dance like no one's watching. She said, don't have any shame.
Yeah, don't have any
Let's
shame. And then my
dance.
mom, after my grandma passed, just continued to instill that in my head. And that is, anytime I think about, like, if I'm being weird or embarrassing in public, I'm like, I actually don't really give a fuck.
Sisters,
I'm having fun.
women, females.
We empower each other.
Well, thanks for getting festive as fuck with us today. We'll have many more Let's stories in future episodes, along with several other fun-filled segments and guests.
In the meantime, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at OCS Productions and let us know which segments from today were your favorites, which ones from previous episodes were your favorites, which ones you don't really like as much, whatever. We want to hear from you. Also, if you don't mind, give us a nice little rating and sparkling 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, and write us a review on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. We want to hear from you.
And we will catch you next time for more She Said, Let's.